Aries has tried, first of all, to bring together a lot of expertise from major universities that reach throughout Appalachia, major state universities, but also smaller universities as well. Aries also tried to bring the disciplines that, as I said earlier, are very important to study these problems. Aries also has the benefit of financial support from a number of companies, all in the energy sector, and the foresight and vision of these companies to provide funding to support the research, but stay totally outside what the researchers are doing. So this is a unique program supported by industry, but totally run, managed, and organized by the academic community.
You know, peer-reviewed publications is the lifeblood of good scientific and academic research. It's ensuring that the community accepts the methodology, and while they may not understand or like the results, or maybe even surprised by the results, they understand that that's what the science is showing. Ultimately, there's not been a lot of folks focused on energy production and the environmental, social, public health impacts of those kind of operations. So this program allowed the academic community, the scientific community, and a lot of different disciplines from engineering, hydrology, public health, economics, and so on, really look at communities that have energy operations in a holistic way and see what's really going on. We had a couple of speakers at the beginning to kind of set the framework for what's going on in the Appalachian Basin, the changes from coal to natural gas, the continuation of coal as a long-term fuel source in the world, and the emergence of other fuel sources, and how all of them are going to have these kinds of impacts, or potentially have these kinds of impacts on communities and the environment. And so I think people are coming to this conference to really hear what has the research shown so far, what's going on, what do people understand, what needs to be done.
Today I talked about how we monitor carbon injection and enhanced recovery tests in active settings, producing fields like a coal bed methane field is the example I gave today.
The panel that I just spoke as part of was really focused on stream restoration and water quality issues related to a variety of water pollution questions, some related to mining, some related to residential waste.
What I focused on was the challenges of federal regulation to natural gas production. So I looked at a variety of laws that are predominantly federal laws but managed by the states, like the Clean Air Act, Clean Water Act, Safe Drinking Water Act. And then I also talked about a variety of federal laws that are predominantly managed by the federal government, like the Endangered Species Act, or the management of federal lands under the Bureau of Land Management.
Today we looked at coal production in Southwest Virginia, where there are 6 or 7 counties that produce 100% of Virginia's coal. So it's a small region, but they do have higher health prevalence rates of almost all your chronic diseases, obesity, diabetes, etc. So again, we've had a number of previous studies that have explored factors that could be affecting diabetes, obesity, cancer, heart disease. But we took a few minutes to look at, or a few analyses to look at economic factors. So in addition to coal production, we looked at poverty, children in poverty, and unemployment.
Today's panel was talking about stream restoration and stream health and aquatic insects. I talked about the seasonality in this VASCI score, the Virginia Stream Condition Index, which is a measure of biological health using benthic macroinvertebrates.
In my discussion of carbon management, I spoke primarily on biological means of getting excess carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. There are a number of innovative agricultural methods that are now being employed that transfer carbon from the air into the soil. And the more carbon that we can get out of the atmosphere, the more into the soil it makes the land healthier and more fertile, and crops grow better, and the food's more nutritious. Wildlife comes back, and rivers that have been dried up for decades are able to begin flowing again.
Science is the key to solve all of the environmental issues facing our industry.
I did a review on some of the studies the health studies dealing with people who live near shale wells, helping the audience understand how to look at such studies, what are the critical factors to be considered in assessing them.
By bringing these forces together and having access to facilities, having access to data from companies and agencies, what we were able to do is to look at the range of issues from water quality to health impacts in a community. And for the first time, in a way, do a comprehensive analysis of those issues and provide via peer-review publications and presentations and outreach activities like this conference here, provide that science and knowledge to all stakeholders, whether it is the public or companies or government regulators, and most importantly, the local communities. So that is what is our goal, and that's what this particular program is doing. I should add that a lot of our projects are approaching now maturity. And this is the second conference in the series. The first one was in 2013, and a lot of our projects were fairly young and new at that point. But 2 years later, everything has matured quite a bit. So there is more information, more research, more data, more publications, and this meeting is able to present all this to everybody.